Welcome, everyone. It is Linda Joy and Thomas, and today we are going to give you some practical daily tools to help you succeed every day. Because when we wake up first thing in the morning, our thoughts predict our day and how we feel. But then also, if you have a daily routine, that will set you up for success for the day. So, what we're going to dive into today is to give you some practical daily tools to regain your mojo, to increase your energy, and set you up for the day full of success. So, at the end of the day, you can actually pat yourself on the back and go, wow, I was so productive today and I accomplished so much and all my meetings went well and everything just flowed with ease and grace. So let's get started, Thomas, and let's start with some practical tools. How do you start your morning as soon as you get up?
Yeah, so when I get up, I do a standing meditation. I learned in Qigong, and this helps me really to do an inner work. Automatically, there are my open tasks come, things I need to do, persons I need to contact, but also when I need to just release some old energy, because what we know is that we want to have a high energy from the morning to the evening. And this means that when we had, like in the past, meetings, connections with other persons in our environment who like were taking energy from us, or we had tasks which took energy from us, we really need to do the inner work and to be free of this, to let go of the baggage we have. And if we don't do it, and I didn't do it in the past when I had an IT company, and I earned a lot of money, but like I felt that my baggage was getting more and more and more, and I was like only working and didn't had any space for like friends, family, and the things which are really important in life, because it's not only money. It's the
Mm,
things, it's like the relation that we socialize, that we have fun. And
mm,
when we come back to the idea that we have energy from the morning to the evening, this is the thing what we want to have. Because when we have this, we can support our environment the best way. And we know when a person is able to support their environment good, then the environment is very thankful. And then things are flowing, money is flowing, business flowing. You
mm.
get recommendations from persons because they like the way you work with them. So, yeah, this is the first thing I do. And then I stopped a while for doing fitness, and then a friend told me, "Hey, you should have some more muscles." I said, "Okay." Then I also have now a fitness routine where I strengthen my muscles, and I got back into the feeling I had 20 years ago when I did this intensively, and this is very activating because it feels like every cell in your body is activated without to take anything from the outside. Yeah, and then of course I look for a clean nutrition. So I have routines for preparing clean nutrition, bringing clean nutrition in my body that I can thrive, and that I make sure in the morning I make sure that there's nothing which drains energy out of my system so that I can work on my meetings throughout the day and be happy and have fun, and that I don't have like a down at 3 p.m. or something. And yeah, this helps me a lot. And this is also what I show in my retreats, because the participants I had here were often came with health issues. And that was because they didn't had these kind of routines to support their energy. They got even stressed in the morning because they had to get up. The only routine was to drink the coffee, who pushes a little bit. And then they had stress to the evening, and they only worked because they got the money, but didn't felt good with it. And in my opinion, this is not a nice life to live like this. And it's like the writer Goethe said, He said in German, he alone earns freedom and existence who daily must conquer them anew. This he knew 300 years ago. And this is the
Mhm.
topic we are talking about today, Linda. And
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear your experience and
And
opinion about this.
Absolutely. Well, it ties into one of the first pillars of my Ben method. And
Hmm.
having balance in your life is critical for our physical health, our emotional health,
Yeah.
our mental health, and our energetic health, as well as spiritually. And
Hmm.
so, if it's so much more than the work life balance, because and you touched on something what you said, and the relationship comes back to ourselves.
Hmm.
And so it's like, if you are giving all your energy and attention to just your work, well, that will cause imbalances in all areas, especially your relationship. Because if you're so focused on work, well, then
Yeah.
all the people that are important in your
Hmm.
life,
Hmm.
well, they end up leaving you because it's like they're ignored and you have no time for them. And also you're so focused on work that you may not even be the friendliest person
Yeah.
if they interrupt you, or
Hmm.
and this is where you could be triggered by any interruptions or
Hmm.
distractions. And so that's a balance. But the relationship with yourself, and I go much deeper in the nurture and the nourish,
Hmm.
because we are all energy, but how are you showing up in the world on a daily basis? And this is why the inner work and actually starting your day with some daily practices that are practical, but also it's so much more than a discipline. It's quietening the mind so you actually feel your body drop
Hmm.
out of your head into your heart and just breathe. And this can be just simple sitting in silence and breathing. You can call it breath work. There's a zillion different types of breath work formulas that you can follow. But
Hmm.
for beginners, I would just sit there and just practice just breathing in and out, and then you can add the different counts, whether it's four square breathing, whether it's breathing in for 5 and out for 7, and just sitting in silence. The more you just practice this on a daily basis, that will stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system and your vagus nerve. It will quieten your mind because it's giving your body something to focus on instead of the racing thoughts. And all you're doing is just watching your breath and expanding your belly in and out with the breath. And then it takes a very short time, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I feel different. And then you're actually calming your whole nervous system down. And this is a really simple tool for self-regulation of your nervous system. And so for people who are burnt out, ultra stressed, go, 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 the type A personalities, the high achievers that are constantly go, go, go. This is just a really simple practice. And I watch a lot of videos online where these successful business people and their routines, and they're actually talking about, getting up at 3 in the morning or whatever their routine is, and they're saying it like that's a badge of honor. And that's there is so much more to just pushing yourself, because that's what will lead to illness and disease. If that works for you, great, but this is where the balance comes in. What's truly important, and what is it costing you? Because by pushing yourself to the nth degree, which could be affecting your health, what is it actually costing you in relationships, in your health, in your family, even with your colleagues and your employees, if you've got employees, because if people have got lack of sleep, well, then that affects their decision making, the choices that they make, and also how they respond or react, especially when triggered. So, we talked about some breathing. What are some other tools? Because Qigong is where we're embodying these tools in our body. And this is what you
Yeah.
practice each morning. I actually like yoga and,
Hmm.
well, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, it's all very similar. It's all
Hmm. Hmm.
movement. And and I just listen to my own body, and I
Hmm.
always like to have a yoga mat out because as soon as I get up, it's like I may just feel like going into a child's pose or the plow position or a downward dog. There's so many yoga moves, and then you just stay there and you just breathe. So that's another thing if you want to incorporate movement with the breath as well. What are some Qigong moves, Thomas, that you would recommend that people can include with the breath?
Yeah. So I love much Qigong moves you even can do in a meeting when you're sitting with another person on a table, because I was in so many meetings, of course, yeah, and you had to listen to 10 persons sitting on a table in a project. So, and they want to have like progress. Yeah, then because the client pays us that we have a progress in the projects, and not that we're just sitting there. So also with this technique I showed right now, it's you bring your hands like here, move it to the right side or to the outside, let's say to the outside, 3, 4, 5 times, and then the other side, 3, 4, 5 times. What is happening here right now is that you're activating energy triggers, that you get energized and you get into your body and in your feeling. Because what we often miss is the access to our intuition, because when we are staring 8 hours uh, to the internet, to some
Screen.
things from the outside, we lose
Mm,
our intuition. So it's very good to
mm,
do this to the
mm,
outside, to the inside. And then there's something which is you bring your hands into a 90-degree angel like this. Also, yeah, like this is also good.
mm-hmm,
You can do this.
mm-hmm,
If you don't want someone to see it, you can put your hands like this under the chair, like this, just 90. So under the chair, yeah, I stand up and it's looking like this. But I under the chair and you basically do the same and you should do it for a minute at least. And meetings like you have to listen for 1 hour. So it's good to do this. And what happens then? The energy starts to circulate and then you get more focused, energized, and then like the boring meeting maybe gets more living energy, more life comes in and you have more creative ideas. And so, as you said, Qigong is a physical exercise, and I love very much embodiment because we are here on the earth to really experience our body. That's why we are here. And not only that we are active in our mind, what happens a lot in business. So that's why I also created a framework like you and it's the Lotus Living method. And so basically, when we do Qigong, we liberate from old patterns which doesn't belong to us, which we maybe learned from the school. So this is important to be aware of this. That's why I love if you follow a method, because a method gives you like a framework where you can go and this helps a lot. So you know where to go and what to do. And the O means that you also let go of your story you had. And I remember business meetings when a lot of people tell stories like, yeah, it didn't work because of this and that. But the thing is, what is the aim? What do we want to reach? We don't want to hear like these old stories. We want to connect with what really matters at the moment. So, and the next letter is thrive, and not by performing, because when we perform very much, like sports champions do it, they often get hurt. So I also have requests from soccer players, professional soccer players, and they say, "Hey, I'm so much injured. I need to recover." They come to my retreats to recover. But the thing is, you want to be aligned with your values, with a good framework, with yourself. And if you're in alignment with this, then you won't get hurt because that's a perfect condition for you. And also, it's about unfolding what is inside of you, your abilities, your voice, that you can express yourself. So, this is a big issue. Also, stand in truth. Um, when we are in school, for example, we often learn we have to listen to someone and can't move. So, we learn maybe not to be ourselves. And so, we have to relearn this. And only then we can be in truth, be honest. So this is important. So we see a lot of politicians, for example, in television. For example, television, we see a lot of fake things, not correct things, and politicians lie just to get money. But then they get also ill. So everyone gets his feedback in our world. And leading is a very important thing we need to do as a business owner. We have to lead our teams, we have to lead ourselves, we lead our projects. So, and then it should be from within. So lead from within with a good feeling. And this feeling you create directly in the morning with a routine, because then you connect with yourself, you feel yourself,
Exactly.
and you can go through this connected feeling through the day. So not from an image, like the image, hey, I'm the business owner, or I'm like the person with the best car, and here's my house, my boat, and look at it. So you really lead from inside, and so you don't need any status symbols to do this.
Mm.
And then this is the next letter is I, from living, L-I, living, from the Lotus Living method. And this is very important. This is the integration of body, mind, and energy, that we are one system. And here in Costa Rica, there's also the possibility to have different experiences. And I saw a lot of business owners coming, for example, to ayahuasca retreats and things, and they get some insights out of this, or even meditation retreats, detox retreats. They get a lot of insights. The question only is, when they go back to New York, for example, are they able to integrate this? So this is important, to really integrate like a wisdom we get out of a good feeling. Yeah, when you're on holiday, you feel good and say, I would love to have holiday all my life. In United States, I only have 5 day holidays a year. This is for tourists, who come to Costa Rica. In Germany, we have 24 days a year, but in States, is less, as I heard. So the question is, when we are on holiday and feel good, or when we are at retreat, the question is how we can integrate this into our daily life. So, and this is a work. I think that's where you support very much, Linda. That's where I support. And we need much more supporters. Dalai Lama said we don't need more successful persons. We need more healers, like motivators. I don't know exactly now what he said, but it's like we need more persons who help other persons to be in a good energy. So I would translate it. And the V of
Mm.
living stands for value. Um, the values also come from inside, and they are true. So your values are there, that you communicate it with your voice, with your chakra here. Yeah, when you follow yoga, there's like the chakra system. So it's important that we activate our voice as well. And the I means inhabit your life, not just managing it. We learn to manage our time, manage everything, finances, this, that. So, but the question is how, yeah, how this fits to our personality. And then it's about also navigating by intuition. I had it before. A lot of people are navigated by fear. This is the business of insurance companies. They sell us, hey, you need this insurance, this, so you don't need to have fear. But deep inside of us, we have the fear,
That's right.
fear of different things. Also, we may have, not everyone has it, and congratulations to these persons who were able to like eliminate their fears. And the last one from living is growing, and this is what we want to have for our business. We want to grow our business, but also for our life, we want to grow like our relationships. We want to grow personally, and we want to have nice friends. So this is in the end the wish with of life we imagine. So this is our vision, and this vision of life, the life we want to have, which is not there yet, this gives us the energy to grow. And that's why I come back to the morning routine. If we
Mm-hmm.
do this every morning and we see our wish, what we want to have in life, what we want to manifest, then we are able to grow. If we don't have this, if we don't do this in the morning, we may stuck at a point at a certain level. And I often see like the negative spiral that it goes worse. We get ill, we get stressed, we have to go to the doctors, we have burnout. I had
Mm-hmm.
this. I had this because I didn't worked uh, on this with this method when I was
Mm-hmm.
successful in IT. So, and that's why I couldn't grow. I felt like I'm getting older, I'm losing the energy, and so that's why I think it's so important to have a framework where we can work with. And yeah, Linda. So this is basically, I
It,
think, the important thing to
it,
connect body, mind, and soul.
absolutely. There's a saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. And
Hmm.
so this is one of the reasons I created, the Ben method, which is
Hmm.
balance, energy, nurture, and nourish, because it guides people to uncover and release the deepest causes of burnout and all those repeating patterns that are draining us, so they can reconnect with themselves, come back into alignment, restore their energy, and then create lasting change from within, because everything starts from within.
Hmm.
And so it means going from your head into your heart. And that's why, I've been on this journey teaching, especially business owners and entrepreneurs and highly successful people that are just caught in their head because they haven't learnt these basic tools for thriving and living. So the Lotus Living complements the Ben method, because
Hmm.
it's about identifying those areas that are out of balance. So
Hmm.
what we'll do in another episode is go much deeper into each one, and
Hmm.
then give more examples. Today we talked about just some movement first thing in the morning, combined with some breath work, and we'll keep adding more different tools. And because I know people get overwhelmed with if we just rattle off a whole laundry list, and it's like, whoa, 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 let me just practice one tool each day. So between now and next week, when we see you next, just practice whatever movement actually makes you feel good, because the more you can find something that feels good for you, that brings you joy, and if you just do it on a daily basis, that's at the fantastic start, just to make it part of your daily routine. and find something that works for you, because everyone's life is completely different and everyone's body is completely unique and different. So it's about finding what resonates and works for you. So any closing words, Thomas?
Yeah, so you mentioned that people can be overwhelmed by maybe what we said because it's basically very much from the head, and we are overwhelmed from the head because we get so many inputs. And when you do the exercise, what happens? You get flow into your body and
Mhm.
you can let go like the stuck feelings and you are moving. This is the most important in life. We need to move.
Yeah.
And when you can integrate this easy exercise with your
Mm,
moving hands into your life, I think
mm,
your life moves more and more into the direction we want to have it.
mm. And this is where our animals around us are perfect examples for us. It's like copy their movements. You
Hmm.
know, the
Yeah.
dog will shake, so just
Yeah.
shake it
Hmm.
off,
Hmm.
shake it off. Or a cat will do a big,
Yeah. Hmm.
stretch or whatever.
Yeah.
And so follow what nature's
Hmm.
doing,
Hmm. Yes.
because they're in tune with their body and the earth and what makes them feel good. So we will be
Hmm.
back very soon for another episode. Leave any comments below and any questions that you have, and we are happy to go much deeper into those questions next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye.